Hey guys, Ponce here with another pre-recorded video because I'm still at PAX. So anyway, let's talk about Kalista because as you can see from the notepad thing I usually do above my head here, she's up for another round of nerfs on the PBE currently. So you might notice looking at the numbers and what they've nerfed, it's sort of a more chipping at the edges kind of thing and lowering a bit of damage and or incidental damage and utility kind of thing. So the passive portion, the passive damage on the W has been lowered. The cooldown has been increased to be able to reproc it on a target over and over again. It's gone from 6 seconds to 10 seconds, so that's somewhat significant. And her ult cooldown at lower ranks has been lowered, and it's just kind of whatever. So this all seems to fall in line, generally speaking, with Riot's kind of philosophy of having champions having highs and lows. And I've sort of ragged on Kalista for a while, well, basically since her release, that she was sort of the champion that had it all. She had damage, mobility, utility, kind of everything across the board. Um, and they've slowly chipped away at her damage, and now they're hitting a bit of utility and a little bit more incidental damage. So let's back because I might get my base trashed here. So, but they one thing they've never really touched, like they sort of have, but not really, is misfortune. Is they've basically left her mobility intact because that's kind of the essence of what this champion is, like her whole dash movement mechanic thing. And then the execute like that. Now the execute is part of the problem because of the damage inherently associated with it. But if you were to say what is Kalista, it's her whole, her passive dash mechanic. So yeah, to me it makes sense the way they're handling the whole nerf thing. Now it's a bit unfortunate that it's taken so long to kind of slowly work at it. And who knows if these nerfs themselves are enough. I don't know. Kalista's just a very frustrating champion. I can't really think of a champion that more clearly exemplifies when a person is really, really good at her. It's insane. Like she just does stupid things, and it's just a nightmare to deal with. When a person is bad with her, um, well, they're just really bad, and they're such a hindrance to the team, which makes balancing this kind of stuff difficult. Now. I've noticed actually a lot of comments, because this is one of CertainlyT's champions. He's designed a lot of champions that people think are unbalanced. I think Yasuo is one of them, Kalista's another one, stuff like that. Um, Now, from what I've read, at least, who knows how true this is, but according to Riot at least, when a designer actually designs a champion, it's not, unfortunately, it's generally speaking not their position and things to like nerf or deal with the actual numbers behind the champion. They just sort of design the kit, and they may suggest numbers, but ultimately that's the balancing to them. So it sounds to me like, CertainlyT designs all these kind of crazy and somewhat interesting champions, and the balance team doesn't do a very good job of basically fiddling with the numbers once they're given the kit. You could, I suppose, blame him in the sense that he comes up with these crazy kits that are hard to balance and makes things difficult on the balance. I just thought I'd mention that kind of briefly. Another thing I sort of read about, or when I post these balance change videos, is a lot of times I'll see people say stuff like, well, that's not the problem. Well, when they'll nerf something on a kit that's not core to a champion, and then people will say, or some people will say, well, that's not the problem with the champion. You need to nerf this. So, for example, if we were to say Kalista, her mobility is the problem, why are they nerfing all this, extra little utility on the side? Well, again, for the reason for that is that they want the champion to have highs and lows. They have these definite strengths. So in Kalista's case, ideally her mobility is strength. That's a bit of a problem because AD carries need damage as well as mobility. But they don't necessarily need mobility. Like look at Kog'Maw. But Misfortune, you are whatever. Let's just lose the game. I'm tired of dealing with her. Anyway, so. Just to go with an example, if you're to say the problem with Kalista is her mobility, not her damage and utility, nerf the mobility. That basically kind of homogenizes the champion and brings everything down to a boring level playing field, which is not, again, what Riot, as far as I can tell, wants to do. That's why they don't, again, like, gut Kalista's mobility and stuff like that. So yeah, for future videos when I'm talking about these balance changes, let's just sort of try and keep that in mind. That the most obvious thing to nerf isn't necessarily the best thing to nerf. So yeah, as always, just should probably mention that this is PvE stuff. Who knows what's going to happen to this? It may not necessarily go live. They might take it all back. They might work with it and change numbers around more. But this is what we're working with for now, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they finally settle with this goddamn champion. I'll see you guys around. Bye.